Hi, this is Earl Netwell, the Micro Business Specialist, talking today on behalf of Minneapolis Internet Marketing Consultant on the topic of pay-per-click advertising. Pay-per-click advertising is a powerful way for you to reach out and be found by potential prospects, members, volunteers, whatever your organization is seeking for, and you should consider using it. Now, some of you may already be doing so, and that's great. Now, there's a couple of problems with pay-per-click advertising. It can be expensive if you don't know what you're doing, and sometimes people shy away from it when it could really be powerful for them if they only knew how to effectively use it. The biggest problem that I see with pay-per-click advertising is that it's so easy to do. In fact, there's lots and lots of people out there who are spending their time and effort doing pay-per-click for themselves or for other people who may or may not fully understand how to do it well. And see, that's the issue. It's one thing to know how to do it, and then there's the how to do it well. I want to talk on a few very brief things today. There are key important aspects of pay-per-click include first, the proper selection of keywords that you're advertising on, the writing of ads, how those ads are organized, and there's a whole section of concern about how you actually go about writing those ads and organizing them, and we'll talk about that very briefly. And then finally, as good as your ads are, as good as your pay-per-click campaign is, it will suck if you have sucky landing pages that you're sending people to. So you've got to make sure that you've got a good selection of keywords. You've got to make sure that you've written good ads, that you've got them properly organized, and that the traffic that you're generating through these ads are going to landing pages that are powerful and are able to convert your visitor into a customer, a client, a lead, or whatever it is that you're hoping for. Now, the next few minutes we're going to talk on just one aspect of this, and that is the writing of the ad. There's a number of different components to writing the ad. You've got a headline, you've got 2 lines of text, and you've got a third line where you've got your URL, and all 3 of those areas are important. The most important of them all is the headline. It's my opinion that as a starting place, the most successful thing that you can do for your business, for your organization, is to take whatever the keyword is that you're working on and plug that into the headline. It might be the only thing that you have in your headline is the keyword. Now, sometimes I'll put a question mark after it because I tend to get an extra little tick or two of response by putting a question mark there. But what's really important, and the message I want to get to you, is that the people who took the time to type in a particular keyword phrase into the Google search engine are attuned to that phrase. If they see that phrase as part of the title of your ad, they are far more likely to click on that ad, which is exactly what you want them to do. Now, that's my secret for the title. You can make a little alterations to that if you dare, but that's your first place to start. Then you've got your 2 lines of text under the title, and what my one major message to you in this very short video is the most important thing you can do is in that first line under the heading, under the subject line, under the title, is to put a benefit, not a feature, a benefit, a what's in it for me type comment that's appropriate to the visitor who's coming to your site, that's appropriate to your business, product, service, or whatever. So you got to have something there that they can see as the reward that they're going to get by clicking on your ad. If you understand that one basic message, if you take and use your keyword as part of your subject, if not just your subject, if you put a benefit in that very first line of the 2 lines of text, you are going to be miles ahead of what most people end up doing on their pay-per-click advertising. Cutesy doesn't cut it. It might seem like it would be appropriate to have something bizarre there to get attention. In the long run, you're better off being boring and giving them exactly what they're looking for, giving them a benefit, and then kind of filling it out in that text. There is then one other line, and that's the URL, the www dot on the bottom, which is the web page that you're sending people to. Now you may be stuck with your particular web page and you might be wanting to send them back there, and it may or may not be relevant to your particular keyword. In the ideal world, I would have you consider getting a completely brand new website URL. URLs are cheap, and you set up your page so that the major keyword is in the URL itself, and then you have something really powerful working for you. This is, extra credit type work, but it's useful if you're able to do it. If you've got a short URL for your business, you might name the page by that particular keyword phrase, and so you have URL abccompany.com / and then the keyword. If you can get that in, that has an incremental improvement on your overall click-through rate. It's not something that I would necessarily get all worked up about, but if you've got some particularly powerful keywords that are working for you, it's something that you can consider doing to really deliver the goods and get the highest possible click-through rate. Now, when I talk about this title and this URL having the keyword in it, it suggests one other major factor, and that is that you want to have a separate ad for every significant keyword that you're working on. And what that also means is that you need to organize your campaigns around those keywords. When I set up a campaign, I might have tens or even thousands of keywords in a particular business. I tend not to, but with clients that have had hundreds and hundreds of keywords, what I've done is I've created separate ads for each of those keywords, because I want to get just this power of having the right title, having a benefit that's directly related to that keyword, and then ultimately a landing page, a specific URL on the bottom that takes them to a landing page that is targeted specifically to that keyword. For example, if I was a plumber and one of my keywords had to deal with sump pumps, I would make sure sump pump was in the title. I would talk about keep your basement dry as a kind of the benefit. I would fill that out in the rest of the line as something that makes sense, and I would put ABC Plumbing / sump pumps as the landing page. I would go to my website. I'd create a page on the website just on sump pumps, and that's the page I would direct them to, and I would create that ad, and I would have that set up for sump pump, and I would look up every possible other sump pump related keyword I could come up with that was appropriate, and I would create additional ads, all maybe pointing to that same one landing page, but with that same concept of a separate ad for each of them. Now, one additional major thing that you should be paying attention to, particularly if you're doing this yourself or if you're having somebody else do your keyword or your pay-per-click for you. Every time you have an ad, you should have at least 2 ads. You should do split testing constantly on all the ads that you're running on Google. They make it very simple to do, and what they do is they make it very simple to see which of the ads is getting the highest click-through rate. That click-through rate is the percentage of people that actually click on that ad per the times that it is exposed and then shown to them. And that typically rates 1%, 2%, maybe as high as 3 or more. Depends on your particular niche. Sometimes you've got ads that are coming in well under 1%. What you want to do is I start out typically with 2 or 3 or 4 different versions of the ad when I'm starting brand new, and within a week or 2 I try to focus in on what are the 2 best. I pay particular attention to tweaking the title, if there's room in that, extra characters available in the title to, that's the most powerful thing there. But I will see which of my ads is ranking the highest, and then I will try to create a new ad to try to beat it. And so after a period of, say, a couple weeks, if you've got one ad that's getting 2% click-through rate and another ad that's getting a 1.5% click-through rate, you want to pause that 1.5% click-through rate ad and you want to create a brand new one. Now typically I start working first jiggering around with the titles until I get what I think is my most best performing title, and then I worry about the body and make some changes around the body. Why is this important? There's two major reasons why this is important. The greater the click-through rate, that means the greater number of people that are actually coming to your ad and clicking on it, and that's what you want. You want people that are interested in that keyword going to your landing page so you can sell them or join them or get the lead or whatever it is that you're hoping to accomplish. So number one, you want the highest click-through rate because that means your ad's effective and you're getting the customers you're hoping for. Second thing is that as your click-through rate goes up and improves, that means Google knows it's going to get more and more money from your ad because it's being clicked on more frequently, and they reward you by giving you a lower cost per click. And if you really want to manage your budget, you want to constantly be trying to get the higher click-through rate because you'll end up paying less per click, and you also will be getting more people clicking, which is really a win-win for you and something that you want to do. Now, if you have someone else doing your pay-per-click campaigns for you, this is one thing that some people just don't do well, and you want to double check on them. You want to look over their shoulder and see what they are doing in terms of running split tests on your ads. If they're not, you want to get them to start doing that. They might tell you that they've tested it all and this is the ultimate ad, and they might be right. But even if it is, they should be able to show you the other ads that they ran in the past that turned out not to be as good, and or they should be willing to do some additional experimenting to see if they can improve the click-through rate for that ad. There's a lot to know about pay-per-click advertising, and we are going to quit here for now. There will be additional videos, additional articles on this page in the future if they're not already here, and I want you to keep coming back and checking them out. I want to also remind you that I am available on a consulting basis. Again, my name is Earl Netwall. You can contact me at 612-724-4392 or email me at enetwal@gmail.com. I'd be happy to sit down and review your pay-per-click advertising campaign with you and offer suggestions where I think it might be appropriate. I can do this directly. I could even take over the running of your campaign, but more likely what I'd like to do is come and sit down with you, review your campaign, talk to the people that are running your campaign, and see if we can't come up with some suggestions to make it more effective. Again, this is Earl Netwall, the Micro Business Specialist, signing off. You'll also see down below perhaps some links to some resources that you might want to consider buying. There's a couple Amazon books that are good on the topic of pay-per-click advertising. If you want to brush up on your own, I highly recommend you take a look at them as well. Have a good day. Bye-bye.